What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. Matthew Peterson here, rounding up the latest trade buzz on the Browns. We've heard a lot of talk about Kareem Hunt, Greedy Williams, but I do have a new name that's going to be talked about at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. A lot of ground to cover, so let's kick things off with Kareem Hunt, because ESPN's Jeremy Fowler said that Hunt is available for a fourth-round pick. I don't want to, dunk on you guys, but I did say for a while, Hunt for a fourth seems like it would make a lot of sense. Now it feels like it's up to the Browns. Do they want to accept Kareem Hunt for a fourth-round pick? Let's look further at what Jeremy Fowler wrote here. Teams I've talked to believe Kareem Hunt is available for a fourth-round pick. Hunt's $1.35 million base salary is attractive. His $200,000 per game roster bonuses are not. But the Browns could always restructure those bonuses into a signing bonus to make him more trade-friendly. So, while I expect Cleveland to be thoughtful and calculated in what it does, there's always a feeling that trading away a few veteran players might not be so bad. That last sentence has gone a mile with Browns fans on Twitter. I wonder what veteran players he is referring to. Probably not just Kareem Hunt. Brian Windhorst, dun dun dun. All right, let's look at the Browns' 2023 draft picks, though, because, I think when you just say, oh, the Browns gave up so much for Deshaun Watson, they must not have anything this upcoming draft. Not really. They've still got a decent amount of ammunition to work with. They have a second and they have a third. Now, when you don't have a first, I've long said it feels like every other pick kind of moves up around, so getting an extra fourth, having 3 fourth-round picks, you could bundle those together to get a couple more day 2 picks. Pretty enticing right there for Andrew Berry. Listen, I have been, and I have said numerous times, the president, CEO, dictator, chairman, you name it, of keep Kareem Hunt in Cleveland. But now that the Browns are 2-5, and Hunt has been pretty limited in this offense, I think he's had 9 carries the last 2 weeks, I think it's time all of us Hunt stands lay down our swords and we accept Kareem Hunt for a fourth-round pick is a good trade. And I know one team is looking for a running back, the Buffalo Bills. They were interested in Christian McCaffrey. They could not pull the trigger on giving up as much as San Francisco did. So Hunt for a fourth to Buffalo? I mean, the Bills become a juggernaut then probably, but they're already one, so what does it really matter? But I think a fourth-rounder, I know it's not very sexy, but I think it's important to remember fourth-round picks can be pretty useful because all it cost was a fifth-round pick to get Amari Cooper from Dallas. So before you just write off a fourth-round pick going, oh, that's another Tommy Togiai, Jordan Elliott-esque pick or Jacob Phillips, whatever, you name it. No. GMs, the good ones at least, they can hit on these fourth-round picks or they can at least use them as assets to bring players like Amari Cooper, who has been awesome so far. So one last time, let's relook at the trade right here. Kareem Hunt for a fourth-round pick with the Buffalo Bills. Philadelphia Eagles are another team to watch. So are the Rams. But I want to know what you guys have to say. Would you do this Kareem Hunt trade? Yes or no? Straight up, Hunt for a fourth. Whether it's with the Bills or another team, that's not really important here. I want to know what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, next up on the show, we're going to check out the latest trade buzz on Greedy Williams and Jack Conklin. We talked about Jack Conklin, I think it was on Monday, Jeremy, and at the time I felt like, what am I doing here? There's no way this happens, but all of a sudden, there's some buzz on Conklin, so we're going to get to that. But first, listen, I found this, and I know it's true because it was on the internet. Bernie Kosar, years ago, before I was born, said real Browns fans turn on noties. Make Bernie happy by turning on those notifications. If you have not hit the bell icon, please do so. And here's a good reason why. If a trade happens, we're going to be probably going live here on the channel, and you're not going to want to miss out. So have those notifications on right now. With the trade deadline next week, a lot of stuff's going to be happening. You don't want to miss out on a single thing. Get those notifications on, everyone. All right, let's get to Greedy Williams now, shall we? So ESPN Jeremy Fowler also wrote about Greedy Williams and that the Browns have received calls on number 26. Now, Williams, remember, missed the first 5 games of the season, and during that 5-game stretch, Martin Emerson, the Browns' first draft selection, did a pretty good job filling in. I think he's done well enough that they're not dying to get him off the field and get Greedy back on. But instead, it's, well, we drafted Martin Emerson to replace Greedy Williams in 2023. I guess we can just kickstart this a year earlier because he's going to be the CB2, the other outside corner, for the next 4 to 5 years or so. Now, Greedy Williams, after returning from Week 5 and Week 6 to play against the Patriots, he played in over 50% of the defensive snaps. Week 7 against the Ravens, that number dropped to 22%. This tells me two things. One, Andrew Berry might be phoning down to Stefanski saying, hey, I'm trying to get a Greedy Williams trade going here. Please do not play him too much. I cannot risk him getting injured. Or it is Kevin Stefanski going, well, I've got no spot for Greedy Williams on this roster. I trust Martin Emerson, Denzel Ward when he comes back, and Greg Newsome to be my 3 cornerbacks. Now, Greedy, I don't really understand. This is one of those weird things where for some reason, he's not talked about enough as being a good corner in the NFL. A former second-round pick who had 10 pass breakups last year and 2 interceptions. I'm not really sure where this contingent of Browns fans came from that say Greedy stinks. I don't mind Greedy. I understood the pick of going for Emerson because you didn't want to pay Greedy in free agency. But I think if a team like the Vikings were to trade for Greedy Williams, they would be very happy with the player they would be getting. I wouldn't say it's like the Amari Cooper trade where everyone goes, wait, why did they trade Cooper? He's still super duper good. Now, Greedy's not at that level, but I could see him going to a team like the Vikings or even the Cowboys or the Dolphins and being a very solid contributor over there. Like Kareem Hunt, I've got Greedy going for a 4th-round pick. This one's tough to stab at because he's younger than Kareem Hunt, but trading for a guy who missed the first 5 weeks with a hamstring injury, that's not going to be easy to sell a GM on. All right, we got to get to Jack Conklin in just a moment, but BetUS, everyone, has an awesome deal for the Dog Pound. When you go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Browns125, you're going to get hooked up with a 125% deposit bonus. Now, I want to show you guys the odds for Monday Night Football between the Browns and the Bengals from Cleveland, where Cincinnati is 3.5-point road favorites. I mean, Jeremy Beadling, we all know that the Bengals swept the Browns last year, so this makes a lot. No, they didn't, though. They didn't, though. So you know what? I like the Brownies in this one. I'll talk myself into it. I don't give a damn. Give me the Browns. Make all your picks over at chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Browns125. Jack Conklin now. So trade rumors have been all over Hunt and Greedy, and it's kind of like in Stranger Things. The upside-down world is now getting itself over to Jack Conklin. He is also on the last year of his contract, like Hunt and like Williams. And maybe Andrew Berry wants to see James Hudson, his 4th-round pick from 2021, get kick-started as the team's new right tackle. So I could see if a team made a compelling offer for Jack Conklin, Andrew Berry talking himself into it potentially with a couple of trains of thought. One being, likes James Hudson. Look what Hudson did when he started for Conklin the first 2 weeks of the season. Not too shabby from Pro Football Focus. 2, Conklin likely done after the season with the Browns anyway, so you get to learn more about James Hudson and whether or not he is the future starting right tackle for this team, at least for 2023. And you get another draft pick, which when you're 2-5, it is tough to turn down draft assets going forward. So I got pros and cons here. My pro for trading Jack Conklin is you get to find out with a 9 to 10 game trial if James Hudson could be a legitimate starting right tackle for this team. The con is Jack Conklin's really good at right tackle, and it's not fun to move on from players that are really, really good. So I'm torn on this one. I think if a really good offer came in, I would be hard-pressed to decline it. But if a team offers the Browns a 2024 7th or 6th round pick, no, I say to the birds, not happening here. So here's another trade idea. I'm going to use the Jets this time. They lost Elijah Vera Tucker, who plays guard, but the Jets can move some guys around a little bit here and open up the right tackle spot for Conklin. They also already made one trade, which tells me the Jets are aggressive, and they might make some more moves leading up to the trade deadline. Browns getting a 5th-round pick back. Here's the deal. We went through 3 trades today, and there is a common thread throughout these trades, okay? Out with the old, in with the new. On the left, you see a 27, a 28, and a 24-year-old. Greedy's not old, but his contract is aging. Going out, and it's the guys that were drafted to eventually replace them once their contracts were done this year. They're really just getting ahead of it by 8 to 10 weeks. That's all that's happening. Kareem Hunt, the way he's played, is not coming back next year. Jack Conklin, unlikely to come back next year. Greedy Williams, also unlikely. They drafted Jerome Ford to be Kareem Hunt's replacement. Now, Ford is on IR, but after this Monday night game, he will be eligible to be activated off injured reserve. James Hudson was picked with the thoughts of him and Jed Wills maybe being those two tackles for the Browns for years to come. And then same for Emerson, kind of just resetting the clock at corner and not having to pay Greedy Williams in free agency. All right, we went through 3 trades today where the Bills got Kareem Hunt for a 4th. The Vikings got Greedy Williams for a 4th. And the Jets got Jack Conklin for a 5th. So now looking at those 3 trades, which trade do you like the most? Let me know in the comments section below which trade is your favorite. Is it the Kareem Hunt trade? Is it the Greedy Williams trade? Or is it the Jack Conklin trade? Sound off in the comments section below which trade, especially when taking into account what the Browns would be receiving, you would be most inclined to hit A for accept. I appreciate everyone that clicked on to today's show. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so. My Twitter handle is @MatthewPeety. I got that link in the comments and the description of today's show. I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you guys later with more Browns news and rumors.